little did I know what came with that, you know?
Federal investigators who did not want to go on camera say that Rick started his drug empire as a cocaine delivery boy for the Curry brothers here in this east side Detroit neighborhood near Dickerson and I-94. In fact, Rick and several members of his family lived here on this street, Hampshire.
At like 14 years old, Rick Wershe was a 14-year-old white kid kind of in this all-black, no, he wasn't, this all-black environment, and was very street-savvy and charismatic and had a magnetic personality. And even though he wasn't very well educated, he had an 8th grade education, he took to the street economics very well, had a really good head for numbers.
They kept talking about this kid, and he was just a kid. He was 17 years old. And when they would call him White Boy Rick, there were a lot of guys I represented. If they were real light, somebody would say, they'd call him White Boy. So I just assumed the guy was a light-skinned brother. I didn't think he was really white.
He was just a white boy. It's almost like the Eminem effect. It's like, damn, this nigga just got skills. When I mean skills, some for real motherfuckers put him down, and he showed motherfuckers what it was like.
And I remember I was at home, and I get this phone call. And, it sounds like any other street brother out of Detroit. And I say, hello, Steve? Yeah. He starts talking, this white boy. And I said, what? And he said a few things. I said, nah. He said, this ain't no white boy. Who you think you're talking? Who you kidding? And he took about 3 minutes. It took him to persuade me that this was really White Boy Rick.
I went to school with the niggas. I went to school with a whole bunch of homeboys. I used to ride past the little video shop they used to have up on the Ave over here, you know what I'm saying? I can see them niggas like 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the video shop, like, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up like, yeah, we them deals, you know what I'm saying?
Johnny Curry, who was in his late 20s and married to Mayor Coleman Young's niece. So as a result, he had a lot of big political pull, which then gave him a lot of pull on the streets. Johnny Curry was driving around town in his Mercedes-Benz, and he had this 14-year-old white kid sitting next to him. For whatever reason, Wershe was able to make his way up in the Curry organization pretty fast, and Johnny Curry took a liking to him and kind of became a mentor. And for a couple years there, at 14, 15 years old, Wershe would be seen all around town with Johnny Curry, which automatically gave him a lot of pull, a lot of weight.
Over time, White Boy Rick gained the confidence of Johnny Curry and became his right-hand man.
They were getting money. Them niggas, you ain't never see their home on 7 Mile?
Nope.
They own holiday homes. My father redid their whole home.
I think the government was very desperate at that time. You had a lot of members of the government that were working for these organizations, which was really undermining a lot of the work they were doing. And happened to be a convergence of circumstances where Wershe's father was a FBI informant in the 70s and had built a relationship with members of the DPD and the FBI. As a gun, he sold guns at trade shows and whatnot, and he was informing on some of the people he was selling guns to under the table, and as a result, they met the younger Wershe and just kind of saw him as someone that wouldn't have suspicion, and someone who was a fast learner.
One of the Detroit police that I've been talking to, I just told him, I said, Kevin, they said that I was Johnny Curry's drug supplier. He said, well, we know that ain't true. I said, the only reason I went around them is when I worked for you. He's the one that said, man, me and Greg are going to do whatever we can to get you out of there. He was DPD narcotic.
Well, how the hell you even get involved with the Currys? The Fed sent you to them?
I knew them, bro, but I started doing shit with them for them, bro.
In 1984, Rick nearly lost his life, surviving a shooting that was described as drug-related. Investigators found out that the Curry family had gotten word that Rick had been working as a drug informant, so they shot him.
And he almost got killed while he was doing it. He got shot when he was 15 years old by a Curry lieutenant. That there's lots of speculation on what the reasons surrounding it. Most of it centers around that Johnny Curry thought that Wershe was a mole and tried to have him killed.
Did they shoot you though?
Some people say they did, some people say they didn't. We never really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
But you definitely got shot.
yeah.
They had on masks or something?
No, it was in a house.
At that point, you would think that the government would kind of cease operations. They almost got this kid killed, but they saw it as an opportunity to put him back inside, and the thinking being that Curry would ease some of the tension. Well, I shot him and he almost got killed, and now he's coming back. So obviously, this was their thinking, that Curry would think, oh, he's probably not working for the government. If he was, he wouldn't be coming back to me.
No, they put me in the FBI put me in the hospital when I was 15 under John Doe. I couldn't have no phone, no nothing. Only one allowed to visit me or knew where I was my dad, Dawn, my grandma, and Rick's mom, and my mom.
Oh, so they was helping. They was protecting you.
Yeah, they thought that a motherfucker might try and kill me in the hospital like they did Rick.
Wershe just really became the only white person that could exist in that social scene and really had just as much respect as any black drug dealer that was, twice his age. He had just as much respect as them.
Axel, I thought I told you to go to the hospital and get that bump on your head checked out.
My head is all right, man.
It's not a request, Axel.
You know who that is, right?
I seen it on the internet. I don't really know who he is.
He used to be the head of homicide when I was home in Detroit, right?
Uh-huh.
Then he became a city councilman. He played Eddie Murphy's boss.
Is he